Warning, be aware of these home sellers after the housing market crash goes down. Hey gang, this is Mike with MrNoFluff.com, and today I'm going to talk about two types of home sellers that I'm always cautious about when the real estate market crashes. For example, back in 2006, I encountered two types of sellers that in 2021, I'm going to run away as far as possible from these types of sellers. Okay. Why? Why would I run away from sellers? Well, the very first thing is that when the market crashes, which is about to happen, there's going to be so much inventory, there's going to be so much motivated sellers out there that the sellers are going to be storming the buyers, the investors, because the market's pendulum will be shifting from a seller's market to a buyer's market. And so since there's going to be a lot of deals out there, I have to be smart and cherry pick the best deals. So the two types of sellers that I'm going to share with you right now are what I call horrible sellers, horrible deals. Okay. Now the deal may be good, but the seller mindset is the problem. So the very first type of seller that I'm going to avoid at all costs are what I call delusional sellers. A delusional seller, let me give you an example, is a seller that might be in the forbearance program. They're behind in their payments. They've been living for free for a couple of years or a couple of months or whatever the story may be. They just recently bought their home at the top of the market, and now the market has crashed and they have no equity or zero equity or marginal equity, but they're delusional. They are thinking that their home is worth, you know, so much more than what it's really worth. Okay. So anytime I meet a delusional seller in a down market, I just run away from them because it's not even worth my time to deal with a delusional seller. Okay. Because there are going to be so many motivated sellers out there. It doesn't make sense to try to convince someone or persuade someone to let them know what kind of situation they're in because that's not my job. My job, see, many people think that I'm a good sales guy, which I am. They think I'm a really good negotiator, which I am. But in real estate, there's a slow closing, okay? Which means that there's a lot of buyer or seller remorse. So when I go and do a real estate deal, if I want to buy a house at a deep discount, if I want to do a wholesaling deal, if I want to buy a house subject to, I never try to persuade the seller. I'm looking for motivated sellers that already have made a decision in their mind that they're in trouble or they want to get out of this home or X, Y, and Z. I'm not the one that's persuading them, okay, that they're in trouble. See, a delusional seller will be a seller that's in trouble. Maybe they don't have enough equity. Maybe they're underwater. Maybe their house needs a lot of repairs, but they're delusional and they think their house is worth 5 times, 3 times, 2 times more than what it really is. So in a time when we're having a real estate crash and the pendulum has swung to the extreme left and it's not a seller's market anymore, I try to stay away from delusional sellers because, and here's the catch, here's the thing I want you to take away is delusional sellers will suck up a lot of your life energy. They'll suck up a lot of your time. They'll they'll have you come to their homes, give them an offer, go back and forth, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, they're not going to go with you. At the end of the day, they're going to be wishy-washy, okay? So what I've realized is that when I meet a delusional seller and the market's, in my favor, I just say, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. And I run away, dude, because they're delusional. Now, can a delusional seller become a good deal? Absolutely. But when there's so many sellers out there, it doesn't make sense for me to work on delusional sellers that want, the moon and the stars when they don't have nothing, right? They don't have anything. Someone can't want $50,000 in equity when their home's negative. Their home's upside down, underwater. Okay. So that's the first type of sellers that, I run away from, delusional sellers. Now, there's another type of seller, what I call shady sellers. Okay. Now, shady sellers are, they might have a really good deal, or they might have an okay deal, or they might have a deal with, no equity or marginal equity or little equity, right? But it's not about the deal. A shady seller is, again, is their mindset. They're just shady. What I mean by that is, for example, they're the type of sellers that once you work a deal with them, right, and they say, oh, I want it, etc., you'll send over the contract, and they may go shop two or three people, okay, and that's totally fine, right? But then they'll come back to you and try to play you with another seller, with another buyer, with another investor, okay, and try to play you guys off. And once the other investors agrees to pay a higher price, then they'll take that and they'll try to, play you off to another buyer, and they'll just constantly be doing that. And no matter if the seller gets the price he or she wants, they're just shady. They just want more, and they'll just constantly waste your time and other investors' time trying to find the best deal. And so what I've learned is that I stay away from shady sellers because they don't know what they want. Okay, one great example of a shady seller is that I'll talk to a seller over the phone and I say, hey, Mr. Seller, what do you want from your house? And they'll tell me, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I'll say, well, if I offer you, let's say their homes are worth 100, okay, what do you want to move? And, there's two types of sellers that say, I don't know. Some sellers just honestly say they don't know what their home values is. And that's okay. Those are okay deals. But the sellers that I'm talking about is that, maybe the house is worth 100 and you're going to offer them 100, and they're not going to be happy with that because they don't know what they want, right? They don't know what they want. So if you offer them 110, they think they're still, even if their home's worth 100 and you're going to offer them 110, for example, I don't know why anyone would, but let's say you did, right? Or let's say I did, they're going to want more, but they don't know what more is. So a shady seller to me is someone that doesn't know what they want, all right? And or they're the type of sellers that want to play me with other investors, even though I give them what they want. For example, I talk to the seller, I say, what do you want? The seller says, I want 100. It's okay, here's a contract for 100. I could do the deal. Then they're going to try to play me with another investor and just then with another investor, and just waste everyone's time. So what I learned is when I meet a shady seller or when I meet a delusional seller, I just say no, thank you, and I walk away as fast as possible. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't put them into my Excel sheet. It doesn't mean that I'm going to do follow up, right? Because some of these delusional sellers or shady sellers will eventually crack. But I'm not going to put my life energy into them. And they're going to go into behind of the line because there's going to be so many sellers out there. So anyways, guys, I just want to do a quick video, try to explain to you that when this market crashes, which, we're very, very, very close to it, right? That there's going to be tons of motivated sellers out there. And two types of sellers you really want to watch out for are shady sellers and delusional sellers. Shady sellers will waste your time, and at the end of the day, you're probably not going to get the deal. Same thing with delusional sellers. They're going to waste your time. They're going to suck up a lot of your time. And at the end of the day, they're delusional, so they're not going to do the deal. So to summarize it up, when I meet a shady or a delusional seller, I just run away and I don't waste my time. I try to get off the phone as soon as possible when I think that they're delusional. Now, the question is, how do I know if they're delusional? Well, that's why I have my Ninja phone script, guys. My Ninja phone script, if you haven't downloaded, go to My Real Estate Dojo and type in phone script and download it, because in my Ninja phone script, I filter out the sellers. I have all these questions that's going to let me know if they're A, if they're motivated, B, if they're delusional, if they're shady, etc. Okay, so when I talk to a seller, I ask them the Ninja phone script and I qualify them or I repel them because they're shady or delusional. Okay. One other thing, guys, if you're interested in finding these types of sellers who are highly motivated, they're willing to sell you their home at a discount, or they're willing to do seller financing, owner financing, subject twos, any of that stuff, then consider joining my academy. Okay, I work with you direct. I'll sit down with you, come up with the action plan for you. I'll give you access to my Flipping Wednesdays where I show you how to find motivated sellers free in your backyard so you don't have to spend tons of money in bandit signs or direct mail or Facebook ads. I'll give you my Mother course, which has like 172 chapters of from lease options to fix and flip to landlording to subject to creative financing, etc. Cold calling, negotiation, all that stuff is included in there. And on top of that, you get our access to our education on demand, which has 562 video libraries of everything you can imagine in real estate, from cryptos to gold to negotiation to cold calling to automation to outsourcing, virtual assistants. All that stuff is all included just for $97 a month, guys, at academy.mrnofluff.com. Thanks for watching. Click the like button. Don't take no for an answer. And if you're looking for a side hustle, I highly recommend downloading the new Flip, where I teach you how I turn $100 into $700 in a matter of days right in your backyard just using a computer. Thanks for watching, guys. Click the like button. Don't take no for an answer. Love to hear your comments below. Peace.